Hey, just wanted to jump in here super quick. Some of these recordings are heavily influenced by virtual tabletop elements, namely Foundry VTT. In some cases, descriptions may be missed, or players in the DM may be taking time to set up their scenes, so there may be dead air on occasion. Thank you for understanding, and enjoy. All right, who is ready?
Not I. No, just kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
All right, 5 more minutes.
No.
Yo,
No,
whippersnappers. All right, so.
Yeah, young whippersnappers.
That was a not very dramatic clap. More dramatic. Cool. Okay, cool. Who remembers what happened in the last session? Just as a quick recap.
We wandered around. We made it like 15 feet. We started looking at stuff that you didn't plan for at all. You had a lot of stress and a mild lots of anxiety. We met a guy with a butt plug knife, and then we decided that we're gonna lava surf across a trucking with a dragon scale while we also do other weird things.
Great
Did I get
recap.
it right?
His name is Borg.
Oh yeah, and his name's Vorik.
His name's Boric. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and drag everybody back into the normal scene then.
Was my recap inaccurate?
Your recap was not inaccurate, although there might have been some hurtful things in there. Maybe some things that weren't needed.
I have a shadow key. We were in a room. Well, we had been in a room with a table with some tankers.
I gave a book to Gwen called the Darn Folk Book.
Oh yeah, I remember. I gotta write that down.
My stupid
What's in
ass
it?
joke.
Line by line, page by page.
That nobody caught on to right away.
Yeah, I'm
It's okay.
I'm like, you know what? It is 80 them, 20 me. I'll stifle some of those things. I'll put them in there for myself to listen to back later. Be like, haha, I'm funny.
You're hilarious.
But yeah, no, that is more or less the wrap up of everything. You guys were talking back and forth. There was some discussions about getting some of you tucked away in some dwarven armor, potentially, if you guys can find any around here. There didn't appear to be anything that Boric necessarily had available to you guys right away, because he was always trying to think about exactly how to get the big green one kind of going along with this plan. Although there are some things that are going to be now happening due to that.
Is he really not going to be here for us to fucking lava surf? Come on. Him to lava surf?
Oh yeah, and that's a failure.
And that's failure, that's right.
Yeah.
That's a failure.
That's a hard fucking
don't scream
failure.
it too loud.
Failure.
Everybody point at him. Can we point in this tool? How do we point at him?
If you hold left click hard, you can do a ping.
Hell yeah, where's he at?
Everybody point and laugh at him. Fantastic.
Why is he so tiny?
What do you mean? Why is he so tiny?
Like his icon is a lot smaller than everybody else.
That's the token size. I mean, if I were to go and make it like his full token, he'd look even smaller. Like this is zoomed in.
Oh, because the rest of it's just faces. Got it.
Yeah. Some of you guys are just faces. Some of you guys got some bonus stuff. Like Gwen is all face. Tom is all face. Cyril's got some shoulder.
On that.
You did spend a lot of time on that. I went into. I'm not going to get into that. Yeah. All right. Let me go ahead and bring up some of our, favorite friends and characters, because now I don't need to be like hiding behind them. Now I can actually be like, ha, Dwa, dragging him along, dragging on Boric.
Just bored how long that beard took him.
You getting to look at my beard?
I am. I'm impressed.
Well, quite thank you. And he starts to stroke his beard and kind of like twist one of his little fingers around it and goes, if you'd like to go ahead and get a grasp of my beard yourself, you're more than welcome to.
Oh, absolutely. As long as you're not going to stab me with that knife.
Nah, I never said anything about that. But for you, and he gives you a little bit of a wink, he goes, for you, anything.
Aw, thanks, man. I want to reach up and just like brush his beard.
Go ahead and you brush his beard, and it feels like there's like fine strands of silver as you kind of like comb through it, and it feels very lush, quite the abstract of the ruggedness that surrounds you in Gracklestug.
What's your typical like beard care routine? Do you use oil to like get the mustache up?
Actually, it's typically Darrow piss.
Cool.
Yeah.
We don't exactly
Yeah,
have a
that's what
lot
we're
of.
gonna go with.
We don't got a lot of different like merchants coming in with the finer beard oils, but I mean, we make do with what we can.
Okay.
Mhm.
I moving on from the
That too.
mustache. I like the braid. Like,
It took me quite a bit. It's actually it's stuck. I can't. It's stuck. All right, big old plan. All right, so we got 3 of you. We need to be getting out and fitting some armor. Otherwise, we're going to be running into quite a ruckus. Actually, the more I think about this plan we got going on, there's already going to be problems with the lava. I'm thinking some of you already showed some interest and some availability to be going through on to Shadowfell, as you had found our previous room. Do any of you know
was
about
that Shadowfell? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to ask if any of you do know about Shadowfell, if any of your characters ever heard of Shadowfell.
Can I roll some insight?
Cirella
Or is
can.
it history?
You can roll history or insight. I'm fine with either of them.
Ooh.
The only thing I
Yeah,
know
roll.
about Shadowfell is that it's like an alternate realm, and people there are, there's lots of shadows and sneaky stuff and things like that.
Definitely
That's just
rolling
what I've heard.
history check.
Can I do any kind of roll, or would I not know?
And any of you can roll if you think you might know a little bit, and I'll try and flavor it to what you know. Boric looks to Tom and just kind of 18. Cirella, your experience with the Shadowfell is that of comfort. It is a place where you are not able to kind of get yourself into without assistance from anything, but you feel very comfortable in shadows. Maybe not for what this gentleman is speaking of, but you are very comfortable in the shadows yourself.
Yes.
Gwen, did you roll as well?
Yeah, I got a 15 plus 4.
15 plus 4, so that'd be a 19.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for doing the math for me. So on a 19, your experience with shadows is that of something that is typically frowned upon. Things that lie in the shadows are those of evils to you. They're not exactly the most special thing to be seeing, because typically your areas are lit up with that of forge fires and embers, and so you're typically not surrounding yourself by the shadows, and anything that kind of lurks around them, you're rather hesitant towards. Nevira, did
I
you
rolled
also
a
roll?
5.
Tom, you said a 5?
I rolled a 5.
I believe you yourself are already familiar with a bit of the lore of Shadowfell, so that's why I did not have you ask for a roll. I believe Tom is a little bit more cultured with some of these things.
I'm at a 15.
15? Nevira, your experience with shadows, likely with Cirella, is that of comfort. You have a little bit more innateness to kind of cloak yourself in these. However, whenever you hear the name of Shadowfell, it's that of something that you kind of think you know something about, but you've never seen, or that you're aware of seeing. So Boric looks. I'm taking off this mask, by the way. Hold up. Oh dear God, this is awful. What? All right, throw that on the ground.
Nope.
All right, back. So Boric is kind of looking at all of you, kind of judging you up. Looks to Gruk and looks to Thak, and he gives Thak a nod in Gruk's and Thak's general direction. Looks to the rest of you and says, "Now, for those of you that were able to kind of go through this door, clearly you're already welcome in the land of shadows. What I propose to you is this. We can either take our way through the lava and have a right time with that. Bit of issue, bit of fire, it's hot, it's stuffy, not exactly fine. Or if you fancy yourself a bit of danger, we can go through the land of shadows. It is up to your guys' pick which one you would like to go with.
Say we
Land
go
of
to the lava.
shadows.
I prefer not burning alive. Maybe the shadows.
But think about this. Wouldn't it be cool to have a set of armor that's like fireproof, especially if we have to stab a giant dragon at some point in the future?
It would be cool, but we would have to find that, and then finding that may be impossible.
There's a billion guards in here, and they all have fire armor, fire-resistant armor.
You know that they have fire armor.
Well, yeah, because I was threatening to throw them into the lava, and they didn't care.
Boric,
Yeah.
Boric kind of looks at you, Tom, and goes, "You were threatening to throw the dwarves into the fire. You do realize that you are of less stature than most."
Right. So I was planning on when they were carrying me up those big stairs up front. Me and my big orcish friend here. I was talking silently to Gruk and asking if I should, use some of my thunder abilities that I have to just push everybody away from me and throw all of the doors around us into the fire. But he advised me that it's probably not the smartest idea.
Seems your friend's pretty smart.
I don't know about that.
As you all
I
look to Gruk holding on to Frank and just kind of playing with him by himself on the table.
Oh, Frank. I forgot about Frank. Sorry.
He has a friend.
He's got a friend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote on shadows.
I still vote shadows.
I vote lava.
Okay. Ooh.
Ooh.
Seems here we got.
Gruk, what do you think?
Gruk is absentmindedly just kind of very focused on Frank. Seems to be detached from the world a little bit.
Hey, DM, roll a D2 for Frank.
Roll a D2 for Frank.
Not or for Gruk.
For Gruk,
Like
just,
flip a cord.
just evens
Yeah.
odds.
Coin?
All right,
Why?
evens odds. Here we go.
Which one is which?
Odds is going to be shadows, and I rolled a 5.
Okay.
But for Gruk, Boric takes a look at him and just sees the kind of absent-mindedness that Gruk is having playing with Frank, and is thinking to kind of thinking to himself. Looks over at Thak again, and you can see that there's a conversation happening between them that you guys cannot hear. Thak taps Gruk on the shoulder and then kind of whispers into his ear. And they start to take themselves out, and they start to walk towards the original way that you guys had started kind of coming into. So they're going to start to walk away.
Were you, what? Wait, Gruk?
Heck, where you going?
We're taking our friend.
Did you take Frank with you?
They've already walked outside and around the corner from where you guys were at, so you'd seen Thak just kind of start to walk and escort Gruk away from everyone.
Did they take Frank with them?
Frank is left at the table.
Nevira, let's go bring Gruk Frank so we can eavesdrop on their conversation.
You want to eavesdrop on the conversation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck with that.
How come there's not a token for Frank on the board, bro?
You guys lift Frank?
We can drag him.
Hold on.
Frank's not that heavy. But yeah, you guys can go ahead and make a roll for that. So you guys are both going to roll for stealth. Let me transfer back over to myself for, posterity. Hi, I'm the DM still.
All right, a 10.
Hey, where did they go? I'm asking what's his face?
Asking Boric.
Bork. That's it.
Sure. Boric turns to look at you and kind of like beckons your ear a little bit closer. So you kneel down a little bit to kind of get closer to him, and he whispers in your ear, and you can feel like this rotten stench come from his mouth as he whispers into your ear, and he goes, "So, we want to have the most capable on this mission, and judging from the one that seems to be talking to the large doll, I think we're going to have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we all know how much we don't like the F word around here right now."
You mean fail
Do you scream that loud enough?
for Thak to hear?
We were sneakily going over there to listen
I'm
to
about
our
to say, go ahead,
conversation.
Yeah, we're still
and roll.
I rolled a 22. So
Tom, go ahead and roll sneak with disadvantage.
I would sneak over there, but you got us locked, so I can't.
Yeah, you guys are locked.
I rolled a 3 and then a 5, which means I got a 10 for my lowest one.
You guys should have free movement.
No,
now
you get to move me. You locked my movement. You get to move me.
No, you're free to move now.
I know. Move me.
Oh, goodness. You big baby. So the two of you start making your way and kind of hug around the corner before you
I went too
can.
far.
Oh, fuck. You guys make your way around the corner, leaving the rest of the group. And hugging around that corner, you can see that Thak and Gruk are talking amongst themselves. Thak is kind of like holding onto the shoulder of Gruk and kind of has him in a, not like a scolding kind of tone, but you can see that there's like a body movement of Gruk is kind of slumped. He's sad. Looks like his body figure looks like he's kind of sad. And Thak is reluctantly patting his back and trying what looks to console him. You try and listen in to see if you can kind of hear anything, but you're not hearing anything from the distance and where you are.
Ooh, useless.
But you can see that, it looks everything's fine. At least according to what you guys can see there.
Can I roll an insight?
Rolling insight. Sure. I'm going to say it's going to be an 18.
That would be a natural 20 with a 23 total.
Gee bum. All right. You said 23 total?
Yep.
Your insight telling you that with the issues that Gruk had been suddenly experiencing and Thak being kind of on edge with failure coming up and around, that Thak appears to be trying to be rather genuine and trying to make sure that things can go as smoothly as possible. So you're not thinking there's any malice in the intentions for what you had seen. Things seem rather genuine from your perspective.
Okay. We make our way back to the group.
Let me move Tom, since he is a child.
Oh wait, I still can't be near freaking Tom. Get away from me.
The sunlight, no.
Half the reason that I want you to move me for me is because A, I'm writing things down, and B, like, I don't want to overshoot where you expected us to go. So like how Melissa immediately went around the corner. I was like, nope, I want you to tell me when I'm supposed to stop.
That's okay. It's for those listening to it in audio level, there is a visual aspect coming into this, and so I'm trying to balance the camera panning over for certain things and then tracking others. So if there's some dead air, that's why. But otherwise, no. If you guys need to write anything down, it's all good. So I want to make sure you guys get all the notes you can. But otherwise, as you guys slowly come to return, you do see that Boric is kind of whispering into Cyril's ear. Gwen, you were just kind of standing there just looking at them, unless there's anything that Gwen would like to do.
Did he tell us his last name? This guy?
Boric, I believe, did. If not, his name is Boric Stonehelm.
Do I know that name?
Roll history.
Oh, okay.
Thinking back to your times of dwarvish names, last names in dwarven culture are pretty, not that they're like common or anything like that, but they're definitely, last names mean something to heritage and to history.
14.
14? Stonehelm is a bit of a muddier name. It's not one that's like widespread or anything like that. There can be other variants of Stonehelm last names for dwarves. However, the Stonehelm in this one is a little bit muddier. You're not recalling anything off the top of your head. You do know of a family named Stonehelm, but otherwise not anything particular in regards to like the names of the family members within.
Hey, you said you're a Stonehelm, right? Am I thinking of like the mining family Stonehelms? Are you like the merchant family Stonehelms? Are you like the orchard? I know the ones that have like a really cute little vineyard. Like, which Stonehelm?
Stonehelms that just said fuck it to the being underground, and they decided they were going to go set up a vineyard. Nice.
Say, my
That's where
last
the paint
name
comes
in
from.
the,
Sorry, go ahead.
my last name in the family lineage is kind of besmirched, if it were. I have a new family now, and I choose to kind of follow along with them rather than hold on to a dead last name.
What's your new last name?
I still have Stonehelm as my last name. However, it is just dead to me. I prefer it just to be called Boric.
But you've transitioned to a new family. I don't want to dead name you. What's your new last name?
There is no last name to be followed suit. My name is Boric.
His name is Bork, and that's all you need to know.
Okay, well, I'm going to put, for my own notes, Boric parentheses butt plug knife. So if you want to give me another option other than that, I'll take
Those
it.
are your notes. As the DM, those are your notes.
No. I was telling Boric, the character, that.
So you mean to tell me that as Tom Bardy, he pulls out a journal and is now journaling and writing down Boric parentheses butt plug.
Butt plug knife, yeah.
Butt plug knife.
Yeah, directly in front of him. And then I'm looking to him expectantly for something that I can cross butt plug knife out with.
He gives you nothing. He just kind of stares at you, just like, all right.
Okay. You know what? I respect you more for just rolling with it.
Don't worry.
Okay, so we're going to the shadows.
Yeah, we're going to the Shadow Realm, Jimbo.
He kind of gives a soft chuckle and he just looks around and goes, all right. So a couple things I want to go ahead and let you guys know about Shadow Realm is that those that are walking around in here, don't touch. Keep your arms inside the hand. Keep your arms and hands, feet inside the vehicle at all times. And should you try and kind of reach out to anything and it touches you, be very careful about what shadows come back. Understood.
Yes.
Does Tom need to turn off his magic sword?
Yes.
If you try and keep a light on in there, you will attract more of the shadows.
Turn off the supposedly talking sword, Tom.
Hey, Dawnbringer. The fucking face.
Hello?
Every time.
Yes.
Hi. So this is gonna be tough for you, all right? Let me lay out the facts of what's going on if you haven't been listening.
All right.
So I wanted to go through the lava and it be bright and cool and surf across lava with a dragon scale,
Oh, of
but
course.
I got outvoted.
Oh.
So yeah. So I'm being dragged along to go through the Shadow Realm, and I know that it's going to be.
You're going to the
really
plane
hard.
of shadows?
Yeah, unfortunately. I know it's going to be really, really hard for you not to just decide to light up the entire Shadow Realm. And I get it, and usually I'd be with you, but I kind of don't want to get murdered by a bunch of things. So would you be okay with, like, turning off?
Well, I mean, I'll have you
Until
know
we're
that
through.
if there should be any shadows coming in, I mean, you and I know clearly well that suns can, dissipate the shadows. But I mean, yes, if you'd like to put me away, I got no problem with this. I would love to go ahead and take a look at the darker side. Maybe see my sister on that side.
Dude, can I? Do you think we can, like, find your sister?
I don't
Because I'll
know.
bail from this whole plan to go find your sister.
I don't know. It's been a couple years since I've heard of her.
Couple years since you've heard of her. Haven't you been stuck in an orb for the past, like, a few 1,000 years?
I mean, you slowly start to lose count of things whenever you can't see daylight, so I can sense it, but I mean, eventually I lose count after, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, however many years have gone by.
Okay, so you're cool with turning off?
Absolutely. Just again, please don't shove me in your swamp ass crack.
I'll do my best. So if
Would it
You
be-
have a boot.
I'm sorry.
My boot's like 2 inches tall, bro. I think we had this conversation last time.
A waistband
I
would be
get-
more preferable. Do I have to
If-
hide?
If we get attacked by some weird shadow things, I will bring you out, and you can absolutely smite everything in it, however long I can reach around me.
Wonderful. And you can
Did
feel
you
that
say
there's
the
a bit
thing
of
has a
happiness.
sister?
Do what?
I'm assuming he's just talking to this out loud, so it'd be like,
Well, so the thing of Dawnbringer is that Dawnbringer only has a telepathic talking to the wielder, so none of you guys technically have been hearing this entire conversation. You've been hearing Tom maybe mumble out loud, but otherwise, in terms of Dawnbringer's responses, you're not able to hear anything.
but
We
yeah,
still
no.
think he's just talking to himself.
Oh.
I imagine at most you would see me, like, it would probably all be telepathic, but you'd probably see my, like, facial reactions change.
Tom can
I just think I'm
absolutely
weird.
relay all this information back out to the party. That you just have to say that. That's all.
Right. Hey, Boric.
Back to Boric. Yes,
You said you're super familiar with the Shadow Realm, right?
I'm more of a traveler than most.
Okay. So, my friend here, my sword here, is telling me that he has a sister that would be kind of the opposite of him that exists in Shadowfell? Is that what's the possibility that we could try and find that?
Well, I mean, we have a mission on our own here.
Yeah, but that's not what I asked.
You could spend many a day, week, year inside of Shadowfell. It's quite a perilous place. I wouldn't recommend, but I mean, likelihood of finding anything in there, I mean, just as long as you're able to kind of bring your own light.
Do you know
True.
anything about that sword?
No, like I said, I use it more for traveling. The areas in there, they're very dark. I don't exactly want to keep any of those things following me behind. I have enough of my own skeletons in the closet. I don't want more shadows following me at my feet.
All right, how about this? Since we're entering Shadowfell, clearly there's a way to routinely enter Shadowfell, considering you travel through it. Also, how do you do that?
Well, you have to be uniquely attuned to going through this. Some of you appear to be more innately in that than others. Typically, there are doors that can kind of allow you to have such travels through, should you not possess the innateness to go in. For example, this. You see him lift up his little cloak, and even though he is in well-lit view of a torch, you see him almost pull, to you guys, a magic trick in front of you. As he lifts his cloak, throws it over himself, and you see him kind of curl into a ball, and you see that ball turn into a darkness. It seems to like stay there, but as you look a little bit closer, you notice that that darkness has like melted into some of the surrounding shadows. And Nevira, you feel something like prodding you in the back.
What was that?
All of a sudden, you see Borik just fall out from underneath your cloak and land at your feet.
Dude.
Hello.
Fucking buy her dinner first. Jesus.
I
Wait,
apologize.
does my cloak do that too? Can I do that?
I should have announced what I was doing, but I wanted to be more dramatical, because it seems like some people here are more for the sights than of the actual actions. But this is more so the reason why, we had Thak here on this mission with his cloak, rather than you.
So I can do that too.
Potentially. But otherwise, Borik is just kind of like looking at you like a very happy puppy, and he doesn't know how to tell you no.
I want to ping a little message to Nevira because I have that power. For those of you that weren't aware or didn't watch the thing with me and Gruk, I now have the message cantrip. Point your finger towards a creature within range and whisper a message to the target, and only the target hears this message and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear. A range of 120 feet. It's stopped by various things like walls and shit.
Super quick. Can you left click on that ability, and it should pop up in a chat log for us, and then that can be on the screen for everyone.
Yeah.
I emphasize
I
should.
already. I forgot how to do it.
Double click on your character.
Yep.
Got it.
Double click on the character, and then you should be a little character sheet. Take a look at the spells or features or that thereof. Yep. And that can pop up on the screen for everyone to see.
Oh, I did it twice. Whoops.
You did it a couple times.
Yeah. So I just send a message to Nevira and just tell her, like, I don't know what he just used, but that thing that he has, like, try and steal it at some point.
You mean the cloak?
Whether it was a cloak or I wasn't paying attention. Whatever thing he, like,
It was
pointed
literally
at.
the cloak.
Well, then you stole Thak's cloak. Steal his cloak when he's not looking.
Okay.
So that entire conversation happens in message, so no one else hears that go on.
Mm-hmm.
So Borik is just now kind of just like stumbling. He brushes off his knees and stands back up. So he is now right next to you. Brushes himself off, looks at you and goes, again, probably should have announced what I was doing. Terribly sorry about that, love.
It's fine as long as you teach me how to do that.
I'm gonna leave that to you, buddy Thak. How about that? Cause I really should not be showing off too many things that we can do.
Oh, you're no fun.
Nevira,
What?
you're not going to be able to do it. That's pretty much what he's telling you right now.
No, she's going to be able to do it, and Frank is our new friend.
We're not bringing Frank along, Tom.
No, Frank is
He
not
has-
coming with us.
He has to stay here.
I'm not
Okay,
exactly
I'll
wanting
get-
to jump in the middle of all the group's politics, but I'm exactly wanting you guys to be more upbeat spirits, because the more drowsy, morose we're going to be walking into Shadowfell, like I said, there's going to be more things that kind of get more attracted to you, and I prefer to be in rather upbeat spirits, if you catch my drift.
Oh, so if
Golden.
you're sad, the more shadows you comes to you?
You ever had a sad day? You know, you sing a sad song. You turn it around.
Had a
Oh
bad
my
day.
god.
You ever notice how sometimes the moods of others kind of affect the rain in the sky, the thunder coming in?
Yeah.
You ever wonder why those things kind of have a connection?
I mean, my friend he can control storms, but
Sometimes the way the world kind of have its own threads that kind of get plucked all together, written to its own weave. So the more sadness you kind of bring into here, the more attractive you're going to be looking to some of those in the Shadowfell.
Okay.
So I suggest putting on your right bloody happy faces, and you get a move on.
Let's go.
Where are we
Okay.
going? Shadowfell. Come on, Vominos.
Oh my
god.
Tom, was that a bardic inspiration?
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
like it.
Who gets
That's our
bardic
traveling
inspiration?
song.
I think some of you guys do. No, none of you guys have the leadership ability. Never mind. Leadership feat. That'd be a good one to have later on. Anyways, okay, so Bork is kind of like giving you guys a very quick and dirty rundown about some of the more intricate things of Shadowfell. Again, more sadness, more attractive to things inside of there, more happiness, less attractive, not exactly free game kind of stuff. Tom, you got some information from Dawnbringer about some of the things that he's been able to recall and kind of tell you.
Did I?
Yes.
What did he tell me?
Talking about a sister, talking about
Oh,
him
yeah.
in shadows, things that happened less than 5 minutes ago.
Oh, no, I remember the sister part. The only
Gotcha.
other thing I remember is that if something touches me, like I'm in the water and a fish brushes past, I'm just going to turn on Dawnbringer and wildly flail around me. So
That's entirely up to you. So those are the kinds of things that you guys can kind of expect from this area. And so as he's kind of like wrapping everything up, he starts to make his way back to the original door that you guys had found and stumbled upon yourselves in, and cracks it on open. He starts to kind of like wave at you guys and says, "Now, if you please, we're going to be following me. Nice single file line. If any of you fall out of sorts, I am not at liable to save you."
how do
Is
I
that
turn off
cunning?
Dawnbringer shiny light on my character?
How do you turn off Dawnbringer? You don't. I turn it off for you.
How do I get the DM to turn off Dawnbringer light on me?
Like that. Dawnbringer lights off.
Or
Oh, okay.
And is that coming with?
Bork kind of turns around just before coming in the door and goes like, "Where we're going, we're not going to be needing Thack."
What's gonna happen to Gruk?
I'll be fine.
Not sure. Not my part of the job.
Cyril, are you fine with leaving that behind? We just got him back.
He'll be fine. We'll see him on the other side. We have a contract, okay? He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
As far as
All
I'm
right, Grok,
concerned,
don't get
contract
murdered.
leaves,
Make safe decisions. Don't do anything I would. Well,
Hmm.
maybe not the last part.
I'll roll an evens odds if he hears you or not. I'll say evens he hears you, odds he don't. And
Okay.
actually, here, we'll do this fun thing so you guys can see this happen. So evens odds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a dice comes across the screen.
Ace.
What?
All
Where?
right, Thak's gonna get murdered. Not Gruk's gonna get murdered.
Where did it go?
What, the dice?
It was on the
It
screen.
was on the screen,
It
disappeared.
is. It didn't show up on my screen.
Oh, it didn't? Oh, it
I
should
don't
have.
know.
That's fine.
Do it again.
She might have not looked.
Sure. I will do it one more time, but we're sticking with the 7 that he did not hear. So rolling a die. Do you guys see that up on the screen?
Yep.
There it is.
Cool. But he did not. You guys don't think anyone was hurt. You guys just call it out.
Okay.
So I'm gonna real quick.
If
Yeah.
Gruk dies, I'm considering Thak a failure.
Do you say that one a little bit louder?
I yelled out loud enough for him to hear, no matter what the consequences are.
Okay, fair enough. All right, I'm gonna do a real quick pause and cut.
Yo.
All right, like I said, please keep
Uses.
hands and vehicles, hands, feet, limbs inside the vehicle at all times when operating through the Shadow Realm. As coming in through here, again, we don't want any, like, sticky little riders coming in on us. So make sure to check your feet whenever you're coming in. If something doesn't look like it's your shadow, it's probably not. And if something is your shadow and it's not on you, you're going to have a fun time.
Who needs a shadow?
Everybody needs a shadow.
Everybody?
It's a lot easier to sneak around if you don't have a shadow.
Well, think if you're in the shadows, your shadow goes in.
If you're in the dark, you don't have a shadow.
Good point.
You always need something to hide behind.
That's why we have Cirella.
Not me.
So you guys start to go and follow suit behind Boric through this door that you guys had originally walked through to see this kind of like secret little door that he had back in there. Who all went back into that room? It was Cirilla, Gwen, and Tom. So you guys are already familiar walking through here how dark this kind of is. Nevira, as you walk through, things are incredibly dark. Pitch black dark. Tom, you've also had this experience where everything was pitch black dark, but Nevira, as soon as you cross through this realm, something feels different. Your face feels a little warm. Everything's kind of more pleasant for some reason. You're like, oh, this shadow isn't as scary as everyone makes it out to be.
Nice.
Your vision becomes pink again. So things to you in here are going to have more of a light pinkish haze compared to others.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, pink vision, pink fat cloak, pink butt plug knife, like, they're all intertwined. Probably.
My cloak is green.
Is it green? Oh, I thought it was
Yeah.
pink. I thought he had, like, a nice, like, hot pink, like,
Back?
cloak to...
No.
No.
It's been green this entire time?
Yeah.
Okay, I always thought it was...
98% certain.
A
I mean,
dark colored cloak.
The cloak that's in the picture that I have as my character, it's green. Back has a red jacket on in his picture.
How red is the red jacket?
How
It's
is this
pretty
when,
red.
is this when we find out that you're colorblind?
No.
It's
I'm
pretty
not
damn red.
colorblind.
Pretty
no,
damn
for-
red.
I don't
For
know,
some
it looks
reason, I
orange to
always
me.
had- Yeah, well, that's because her fucking shirt was orange or red or whatever case I was arguing.
Fuck you, I'm on both sides, so I'm always right.
Exactly. So I always come out on top. No, in my mind, this has always been like not quite hot pink, like that bright, but like a faded like hot pink the entire time.
No.
Nope, green.
Okay.
Nah.
I'm gonna steal it and dye it a different color.
Nope.
So, Nevira, that is what happens to you. So everything to you is kind of like a little weirder pinkish haze. So like even black has like this like pink haze to it as you come through here. You don't see anything, like you pull out your hands and you take a look and you don't see anything on your hands, but like I said, you kind of get this like feeling over your body, and then you kind of get that little thing that goes around. And then most importantly, what you notice is that things within about 5-10 feet range in front of you, you can start to see. Like the darkness. You can kind of see within 10 feet. Kind of getting a thing happening to you.
Guys, is everything pink to you?
No.
No.
Is this the cancer talking?
Yeah, what? We still never took care of that thing on your face, did we?
Oh yeah.
No.
Here?
Hey, Pork. You know anything about mushrooms?
What are we yelling
infections?
about back there?
Do you really know anything about mushroom infections?
No, not down here.
Fuck. Okay.
We're going into a land of shadows. I mean, maybe you see a mushroom shadow. Did you touch something already when walking through here?
No. This was previously.
Gotcha.
But it's that thing that was on her face.
Oh, I just assumed you were born like that.
No.
All right, well, go ahead and keep the ugly stick to yourself.
Thanks, Pork.
No problem. But right now, like I said, we got a mission to focus on coming in through here. Since going in through here, Land of Shadows, time doesn't obey the same rules that we may think it does. Nor does it follow the same rules of distance. When you walk through here, things can change. And as he's kind of getting more and more like vague with some of these things, all of you start to see that this darkness that you had previously walked through, for three of you previously walked through, you're noticing that you're walking a lot longer than when you had walked to that secret room before. And as you're walking through, you kind of feel that the ground beneath you, from before it was kind of like this like cobblestone from the room that you were in and walking through, you start to feel that's like crunch underneath your feet, that this cobblestone is turning into like gravel of some sort, like it's broken rock and stone. A smell hits you, a smell of stale air. That things inside of here, as you're walking through this dark tunnel, nothing feels that it's normal. Nothing feels alive in here. Again, it is like a very stale air. Even on your tongue, you can like taste that something is weird, but like you're not able to put your finger or your tongue on it. As soon as you start to kind of get that feeling to you, you see that the world around you opens up to this like elliptical, open, barren landscape. Everything inside of here is monochrome. Everything in here is white or black or some variant in between. Nevira, you see that everything is a little bit, the grays are more pinkish gray than anything. White is almost purely pink, as how that color goes. And when you're looking in here, you feel no wind. Nothing is moving in here. As you're looking, you kind of see this open, barren landscape kind of taper off onto kind of a plateau of sorts, and you can look out into the distance, and in the distance you see this barren, cracked landscape, almost like a dried desert of sorts. When you're looking out, you see that there's dead trees, or what look to be trees. You see that it's a shadow of a tree. It's standing up like a tree would. There's no leaves on it, and it's not moving, but it's just almost like a pure pitch black darkness standing upright like a tree would. Just all the color void, gone. Looking out a little bit further, you can see in the distance that there's a crest of a hill, and much further out you see that there is kind of a large structure of some sort, kind of hidden amongst some of these more like deader trees as it kind of goes on and goes forth. There's this open expanse that is all empty until you reach this kind of what would to you all look like a tree line. But you see something that's not a tree in there. It's a little too hard to make out. Can all of you roll perception for me to see if you guys kind of make out a little bit more about some of this detail that you see in here?
8.
15.
15. 4.
4.
10.
Okay. For those that rolled less than 10, you kind of can't really make anything out. You notice that something's weird about the horizon line when you're looking out at this, but nothing you can like tell with what it is. Gwen, you rolled 10. You can see that there's like a hole in the middle of this, weird structure that you can kind of like see through. So it's like, is that a window? Is that another tunnel? Like what's going on with that? But nothing, because everything is all just blacks and whites and grays. You can't get like a true depth out of it. Tom, you said you rolled 15? Okay, for 15, you can see just a little bit more on the horizon. You can see there's like, that's definitely some kind of building way out there, hidden amongst those dark trees or shadow trees.
Hey guys, do you see that building out there?
Not really.
Where?
I saw a hole.
What's that thing?
It's that way. Yeah.
We'll call that
building.
northwest.
Okay.
Does this sandy landscape remind us of those dreams we had?
Trying to think who had what dreams. None of you that had those dreams see anything that resembles, but you're definitely like, with this being a different plane of existence, you wouldn't put it past yourselves that they could potentially be connected. You wouldn't put it past yourselves. You have no idea, but you're like, this is some weird shit already going on. I don't know what to fully expect in here. We got this Boric guy just leading us through, and we're just supposed to trust him. He did a magic trick where he fell out of my cloak. I don't know how he did that, and he's talking about how time and distance is almost incalculable in here, or maybe it is, and he just doesn't know. So there's all these weird factors that are going into this that are just slightly off, and you're not very comfortable with this information.
Guys, we should check out the building.
Boric can
Listen,
kind of like hear that there's some murmurings behind him, and immediately kind of like, as again you guys are continuing walking along, just kind of just open barren path, again like on a plateau side of things, like you're almost like on the side of a mountain of some sorts, but he hears you kind of talking about that, going like, we should go see the building. He kind of like doesn't turn around to yell back at you, but definitely is mentioning to yell back at you, and goes like, don't even think about it.
Why
Why
to
not?
the building?
Going out in places here in the shadows, like I said, you don't want things coming back that aren't yours. If you go out
What
and
does
start
that
rooting around
mean?
at things, like I said, I'm not going to be responsible. We have a mission to follow. And if you're telling me that you'd rather go ahead and risk your own lives here and not go through with that, you're risking your own contract, that's on you. I'm sure the little one's thinking to himself that, oh, I don't got a contract. Well, go ahead. Lead your friends astray. And with that, he kind of stops, turns on his heel, and looks at all of you.
I'm only
You're
going
not-
if I.
Sorry,
I'm only
you go.
I'm only going if I have a big scary person standing between me and the danger. So it's real. Check it out.
Well, including that I've never been here before, I'm assuming. I don't know what to do, what to follow, and I don't know. Boric over here, you're not making me feel any better about just following you. You're not giving us anything. Besides, don't stray from the path.
Well, you can see that in this open expanse. You tell me what out here seems to be most alive. Anything? You can roll investigation to see if you can see anything else.
Us is most alive.
Come back, dice.
I'll wait for the roll.
It is an 11.
11. Kind of like what Tom just said, is that the most you can kind of see is that it's just you guys around here. Everything here in the air is stale, and you don't see anything moving. You just see these kind of like voided silhouettes of things that you are used to seeing, but clearly something's wrong here.
Yeah. Not having the best vibes, but I'm not gonna go wandering around.
No, and I expect you shouldn't. Now, do me a quick favor. Everyone do a double check on the shadows at your feet. Do you have a feeling that you have an idea about your own shadow from others?
I
I mean, if it's taller than me, so it might be an issue.
All of you can look at the ground and you see that your shadows look relatively like your own.
Yay.
If I wiggle my foot, does it wiggle its foot?
You lift up your foot and you give it a shake and you realize that your shadow, like a normal shadow, would become detached at that foot and wiggle around.
Okay.
Nothing seems any weird.
Can I like, if I look closer, is there anything different about it, or is it still?
You can roll investigation.
Based on the shit that I'm wearing, is there anything different about the outline and appearance that would?
Yeah, go ahead and roll for an investigation. Based on your guys' normal perception of things.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. You notice that Dawnbringer doesn't have a shadow.
Ooh. It's exciting.
You're truly impressive nat 20 at a time of need.
Does that, like, am I still holding him?
Yeah, no, Dawnbringer to you is still solid. Like, nothing's wrong with that. But you just notice that in your silhouette that there is no outline of Dawnbringer.
Hey, Boric, found something weird.
And what was that?
My sword here doesn't have a shadow.
Oh, you mean your magical little sword that casts light and, therefore casts shadows away from itself?
Yeah.
Dawnbringer's not exactly the most radiant thing to be coming in through here.
It's not the most welcome.
Not exactly.
What does that mean? Does that mean that we could theoretically find his shadow?
Well, if you...
Probably his sister.
I know.
Oh, I don't know those things. Sorry.
Well, I'm just guessing. I'm just completely just rolling with it.
No, you're fine. He's just kind of just like looking at you with a bit of anger in his face, and just like, again, we have this mission. And if you are choosing to go ahead and go explore a little dilly-dally, wanting to get on out of here, not even sure how you arrived in here in the first place, be my guest. I don't have to be watching a bunch of children. I can go ahead and go back to Thak and worry about your friend Gruk. Oh, did we already forget that you had another friend out there? Are you really going to be abandoning them?
No.
It's not my check. You were convincing fact to convince to get Gruk away from us. But I see your point. I think I'm going to come back. Like, I'm going to find another way to get in here at a different time, because it sounds like the general vibe is that not everybody wants to go randomly exploring the various Shadow Realm.
Be my guest to go ahead and explore in here. But should I cross your paths in here, I'm not helping you. There will be others that will be traveling through here, as I had mentioned. Again, travelers of most, inhabitants are another. We don't exactly want things coming betwixt the planes so freely. That shouldn't be belonging in others. You all being here already, not being accustomed to these places, I'm sure that's going to be a wear on you that you're not even going to be able to see just yet. And frankly, I'm going to be worried for you. But I know you can probably handle yourselves. That's why you are still going on.
How about this? If everybody but Borok wants to go explore the building, let's do it. If not, I'm also fine with just getting to where we're going.
I'd just say let's go to where we're going.
Okay.
That's my play.
One day I'm coming back. I'm going to get 2 of these.
Right then, let's go. He turns back on his heel and starts walking down this path. So, to take a quick tea on that is that you guys more than welcome to go ahead and explore around here. Do not let Borik's kind of foreboded warnings sway you in any way, but do not take them lightly, as Borik is not going to be one to kind of be so fond to help people that he doesn't need to.
I'm not exploring by myself, and I'm not exploring when I'm level whatever I am.
not exploring when you're level 4.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes,
15,
a new
back,
plane
but...
of existence, and you are level 4. Let me go poke around in here.
Right.
But again, don't let that stop you. Please have fun and enjoy yourselves.
No, one day I'm coming back because I'm going to get that second sword. But something tells me that if I were even to find it, I have a feeling that Dawnbringer would probably not be okay with me also having his weird shadowy counterpart sword. And I like Dawnbringer better.
I want it.
I know you do. And I don't want you to. I don't want you to have it because you're already trying to get yourself killed all the time.
I wanted everything originally. I wanted to break into that orb, but guess what? I didn't. You did, and then you got Dawnbringer.
I don't know what to tell you. I do have to say that, like, I did tell Caleb, like, and this is side note.
I thought we were still role playing. I was like, I'm going to talk to Borik as you guys.
No. Partially was like, I was irritated for about 5 seconds about like, man, how come they got like a cool room that they can hide in that fucking we got arrested for them because of that? And then immediately afterwards, I was like, yeah, why am I the only non-martial in this party and I have the cool, awesome fucking lightsaber radiant sword? Like, I shouldn't be mad about that.
Curb yourself. You're like, all right.
Mm-hmm. I checked my privilege.
You guys can continue conversing amongst yourselves for previous paths and things like that as you guys are making your way through. Borik is kind of just dead set looking ahead, as you guys can kind of tell that he knows something about walking through here, that he doesn't appear to be making any like second guessing turns. He doesn't appear to be turning back on himself. He's very walking straight forward, head in front of him. And you guys can roll insight to see if maybe you can glean anything else off of anything going on. But otherwise, that's as much as I can give as you're walking through here.
Yeah, I rolled a nat 20 on insight.
Did you actually roll a nat 20 again?
Yeah.
On D&D Beyond or whatever?
Yes. Yeah. You can go check it right now.
All right.
Yeah. No, that's 21.
All right.
An insight check.
That beautiful. Here, real quick. I'm gonna pause super quick. So I'm keeping track of all these signs. This insight can kind of count for all of you guys from here. Is being in this area, Tom, you're able to kind of point out that being a bard of your own travels and kind of going amongst places, sometimes you kind of stop and ask for directions. Other times you get more comfortable in a town and you kind of are able to kind of navigate things. Sometimes some towns are kind of like others. There's not a lot of changes amongst different towns you've been to. But something in that kind of step, that sure-footedness, you're seeing inside of the way that Borik is kind of moving around, is that he's rather sure of everywhere he goes in here. He's talked about being a traveler amongst here, but doesn't exactly give a lot of other information behind it. So you're thinking to yourself, like, maybe is that like a traveler of many years? Is he Like, what kind of experience exactly comes with being a traveler of this shadow fall, of this shadow plane? Is kind of what you can glean.
Hey, Bork, you really know where you're going.
Boric kind of, again, he's just face forward, going around, not really messing with anything. He like kicks a rock as he's kind of walking around, and you can see that this ground is slowly turning more into like those like pebblier, kind of like gravelier roads, and you can start to see that the slope is starting to slope downward to where you can start to see that your horizon view that you had seen previously is starting to climb higher and higher, that you are getting more on the level of that open expanse that you had seen previously. And as you call that out, he's like, again, being a traveler around here, you know, sometimes it's good to be familiar in places like this. Sometimes it's good to be familiar in a place of darkness. However, you want to be careful not to get too lost in yourself.
Right, it's interesting because, like, usually you're saying how time is a little bit different here and how distance is a little bit different here and everything's kind of looks the same. So I'm wondering, how said you were kind of a traveler, how much of a traveler, considering it would probably take a lot of traveling to get a good idea of where you're going and all the not really landmarks that are around here.
He throws his hand up in a balled fist, like a stop kind of motion, and he himself freezes in tracks. All of you guys are kind of taken aback at the sudden pause as he slowly turns on his heels to take a look slightly to his left, slightly to his right, and then he whispers, he goes, "Do you hear that?" All of you can roll a investigation for hearing, or perception for hearing.
Hey, I got a nat 16.
I'm about to say, I'm going to call it at it. You said 18. I was going to call it at a DC 18. Did you hear it? You said you got an 18?
I got an 18, yeah.
Okay, who here got an 18? 5.
15.
Gruk, you're not rolling,
15.
don't worry. 16? Okay. Tom, your astuteness has been rather fond to you lately. You've been rather on edge being in the Shadow Realm, trying to keep tabs on those things where he was saying, don't be sad, don't be morose, don't be melancholy. And when he pauses and stops and says, "Do you hear that?" you can hear that there's like some running. Far away, but exactly where you came from. All of you turn around and you see Gruk, out of breath, start running his way towards you. Just kind of...
Yeah, good there, buddy.
Gruk is a little far away, but so you guys can kind of probably yell out toward them. Gruk, to you, this air, real quick. The air here is stale. The taste is stale. Something is like slightly off from being in this place. Everything is monochrome. It is blacks and whites and varying shades of gray. The area around here, can you do me a real quick favor and roll me, for your perception, you're running. You see that there's a large expanse of this barren, cracked wasteland, almost like a broken desert, but it's all white and gray. You can see that there's trees. However, these trees are different. They're like voids. Like what you would see of a tree is now just an empty black shadow. There's no leaves on these trees. Nothing appears to be alive in here. There's a horizon far out. You're not able to glean anything, just amongst other trees slowly further out, amongst this barren expanse and then to that tree line. As you're running forward, you see your friends and you start to kind of catch up to them. Your flat feet just as you start to run towards them, but you're slowly getting out of breath as everything in here, everything feels just slightly off. The air that you would normally be breathing is not this air.
Mm-hmm.
And now you are there. So you're running up to them. You're about like 60 feet away as you're trying to run up, and then Tom had turned around and caught the eye and seeing Gruk as you guys start making your way in.
Making our way in where?
Hi, Gruk.
How do we know that's actually Gruk?
I'm pretty sure it's Gruk.
Where's
Mm.
that?
Hang on. Is he carrying a training dummy? And
No.
where is that? And what's his shadow look like?
Not carrying Frank the training dummy. As you are seeing him run, it's a little hard for you to kind of make out a shadow of any kind. So I would say if you're going to take a look at that, it'd be with a disadvantage if you're seeing anything. But otherwise, from normal looking, you don't see anything different. as he's running his way
was gonna-
towards you guys?
I was gonna wait until he showed up
Okay.
and look at a shadow.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping that there's conversation to be had before, things happen.
Oh, okay.
You can slow down. We're not going anywhere.
Is Stack with him?
No.
Where's Thack?
So
Nope.
now it's my time to come in.
Yes, it has been your time to come in. It has been your time this entire time. We've been talking about you. Love you. It's
Okay,
been your time
I
this entire
couldn't
time. Here, I'll get off Boric. How about that? That way you can see that I'm being genuine.
What the heck?
Go ahead.
Where is Thack?
We don't know.
You
You were
he
with
was
him last.
yeah, he was with you.
Oh yeah, I guess he was.
Boric sees the look of confusion and just kind of like, he starts pushing all of you aside as he starts making his way up to Gruk. You notice that the distinct height difference as he slowly meets Gruk's belt, and he looks up, and he kind of has a very mean look. Oh, here, I'll pause. Alrighty. So you see that Boric starts to walk his way towards and meets Gruk's belt, looks up, and just very sternly is looking at Gruk and goes, "Are you telling me you came in here and you then have the balls to say you don't know where Thack went? How in the right mind did you get through the goddamn shadow door and Thack's not here? Are you telling me that Thack just magically let you in here?"
I just went through.
You just went through. And you can see that he's like very upset at this. Something kind of like clicks in his head and he looks at you and goes, "Right then. Okay, so you just came in through here. Anything, I don't know, strange happened between you and Thack? I told him to go over there and console you, and then you're just here. Did he say anything to you before you, I don't know, just moseyed your way in here? Go on.
Some insight.
Don't be bashful now."
Okay, let me think.
Go ahead, think
Well,
long and hard about you and Frank. He had to take you away, he had to pat you on the back, give you a right wanking off just to make sure that you were nice and happy.
Whoa.
His name wasn't Frank, it was Jerry.
Frank, Jerry, whatever the name should be. Point
Hey, it
I'm
matter.
making right now is I need to know where our good old buddy boy Thack went and how the right hell you came into here. Actually, you know what? I'm not even worried about how you came in here. Right now, I need to know right where that miscreant went.
Does he
Well-
know how to use the shadows? Does Thack know how to use the shadows?
Well,
Well, Thack did know how to use the shadows, but it seems like somebody's got a cloak of his on right now. And he
do I have a cloak on?
looks at tiny
do
little
not.
Nevira. Gruk, you do not have a cloak on.
Oh.
Grug, it is entirely up to you what you would like to say about things that may or may not have happened. This is yours.
Okay. Well, he was telling me how my stay was at, being here in the prison, and I told him about the French fry that I got the one time, and then we had our discussion about
The French fry.
Yeah, I had a French fry in my grill once. It was cool.
Okay. Enough of that chit chat. I specifically need you to tell me. Oh, you know what? Honestly, at this point, if you don't know what Thack had been telling you, did anything seem a little off? Maybe, I don't know, a little too charming about Thack when you had walked away with him? Your silence is kind of speaking a lot loudly.
I mean, we had a nice conversation, I feel like.
Right then. Something tells me that your friend may have, I don't know, give you a bit of a slip and then sent you right on your way in here. Thankfully, you're not dead. But now I need to
What's the
babysit
slip?
you and the other four and worry about where
What's a slip?
What's a slip? Does somebody want to educate this fool?
We'll tell you later. We'll tell you when you're older.
Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry. I just haven't really seen anybody new since, being imprisoned here. I've only had these guys here. to
No, I
talk to.
realize it's probably not your fault, but right now I don't exactly have very many things to blame. And seeing you here is, I don't want to attract too much attention. I need to calm myself. You see
sorry.
his hand kind of turn like a little blue, and you see him touch his chest, and his shoulders kind of relax.
I'm sorry, Bork.
It's fine, really. Honestly, we need to go ahead and get a move on. I've already caused too much distraction amongst ourselves here.
Would you like a hug?
No, don't touch me.
All right, well, let's get going then.
Right then. All right, keep following. He starts to step away and starts to make his way to the front of the group again. You can see that his demeanor's a little bit changed. His shoulders a little bit more relaxed after doing that kind of touch to his own chest with a blue hand. He starts walking through. You guys are more than welcome to converse amongst yourselves for things that kind of happen from here, as Boric is kind of letting you know that things might be a little bit going through here, and you guys are more than well aware that, again, previously mentioning that time and distance in here are not what you are used to seeing in, the normal plane of existence. Being in here,
Hey,
things are different.
did anybody notice that? Did anybody notice the color of the magic that he used? You noticed that it was blue. Do you notice that the torches are blue? Do you notice that it calmed down after he did it?
Everything's pretty pink to me, so I don't know.
Pretty sure he used the same type of stuff that's in the torches.
Couldn't tell.
I don't know what we do with that information, but
I mean, yeah, yeah, it's good information.
Hey, what kind of magic you use in there?
Boric is kind of more focused
No,
on
yes.
the front of the path that you guys don't see a clear path on. As you guys are starting to make your way down, you can see that you are now more on the same level as that large, expansive waste of an empty, barren place that you had seen previously. The ground here is cracked. It is empty. You can see that when you look down in these cracks that the shadows appear to be kind of like moving between these kind of like small little rocks. To give a better perspective on this, when you're looking down, it's almost like these tiny cracks are their own miniature versions of like a cavern that you had walked into in Gracklestug. However, in here, these cracks appear to be housing their own like forms of life in the forms of shadow. You see that there's wisps that occasionally kind of like sneak their way up and kind of dissipate into the air as you're making your way across. And as you're stepping, you can feel the crunch underneath your feet as you're making your way through and leaving your own cracks as you're going in.
Ew.
Ayo?
Ew.
Ayo.
Correct. Gonna need my own little footprint. Oh, yeah.
Are my boots telling me anything?
What are you thinking about?
Think
Think about your task that you want and then make a roll.
A way out of here. A way out of
A
here.
way out of here.
there could be a lot
Very
of those.
Bad idea. That's a bad
Okay.
idea.
Make a roll.
We
Okay.
could get eaten, and that could be a way out.
What?
We could get eaten, and that could be a way out.
That's true.
Death is
How
also
to-
a way out.
How to complete the contract?
How to complete the contract.
Yeah.
Okay, make a roll.
Yeah. Oh wait, is it the 4?
It's a d6, so normal dice.
6.
1
There
and
we go.
2 will
Sorry.
tell you what to do. 2 and 3 are kind of confusing. 5 and 6, they start walking on their own. 4, it's a little confusing. So when you're talking about completing this contract, you kind of get this like strain, like your feet. You can still like walk and control yourself. It's totally fine. As you're walking, they're just kind of like pointing in like different directions, but you're not able to make too much sense out of
Am I
any.
like waddling because my feet
Yeah,
are
kind
too
of like
different?
you got like a little bit of
Yeah.
like stumble kind of walk.
Mm.
You good over there, Nevira?
Boots have been fucking useless.
We'll get some new shoes.
I know.
I want you at some point to go like make some sort of 80s one-liner about like, yeah, I have these boots that can show me to guide my direction, and right now I'm going to guide them directly up your ass, and then you like kick the shit out of somebody.
What?
Hmm.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Moving
Like,
on.
you can do like a total like one-liner thing about like, I'm gonna, if you don't do what I tell you to do because you're trying to intimidate somebody, I'm gonna shove my foot up your ass. But then also frame it in the context of like the, your boots. I don't think you should quite be like, bro, I rolled a 1 on my die, and so now I'm gonna shove my foot up your ass. But like, you can make something work on it.
Amongst the intelligent conversations you all appear to be having amongst yourselves, Borik kind of turns around and goes, now, walking along here, again, want to be careful. Everyone keep an eye on the cracks, making sure they're not grabbing at you. Everyone, shadows look okay?
Do our shadows look okay?
Well, if you
You can
step
all
on
make a roll.
crack, your mother's back.
Make what kind of roll would that be? We'll just give that a flat d20, and I'm going to say a 14.
I got 15.
I got a
Natural 20.
19.
Natural 20. You said 19?
I got a 1.
Nice!
Aw.
Gruk, what'd you roll?
Hold on.
Oh,
You didn't
these
roll.
guys been going in the bad corner. Never again.
The bad corner.
Hit bad corner.
Why does
No,
your like light tan sloth that's lying on the yellow sloth have like a third eye?
this one?
No, the one below it.
This one?
Gruk, what'd you roll?
It's
Just the normal 20.
It's not. It's like a little birthday mark.
Oh, like a tag kind of thing.
No, it's just a dark spot
Sorry, I
that
was
they have
getting-
for the fur. I don't know.
Getting the dice
Okay.
out.
It looks like it has 3 eyes. It looks like he's like Tien from Dragon Ball.
For what are we rolling again?
Just a regular
Flat
flat
D20.
d20.
Oh,
Here,
19.
I can
19,
cover
cool.
it up.
So for the one that rolled a 1, everyone else, you kind of see that Gwen's shadows looks pretty normal. However, you're noticing there's like a feathering of the edges around her shadow.
Gwen's shadows look a little odd.
What does this mean?
Borik
Am I
pauses
cursed
and
again?
turns. Borik
Am I
pauses,
cursed
turns.
again?
Cursed again. I'm sorry, were you cursed before?
Yes, it was not a good time.
I mean, I feel like I'm cursed currently, but
I mean, I am cursed currently, but that's fine.
I'm chilling.
Okay.
I'm cursed with the feeling of missing stool.
All right. Well,
but-
with all the sadness around here, it makes proper sense that we're going to be having some issues.
I'm not sad. I'm glad.
Yeah, shut up.
You there, the stocky one. What's on your mind right now?
Me?
The stocky one, not the green one.
Me?
Who rolled less than
Yes.
14? Oh, that one.
What's on my mind right now? I mean, I want to get home. I'm worried about my friends there. I'm worried about if I'm ever going to see my old family again. It's just a lot going on, actually.
You have every right to be worried about these sorts of things, but you do need to take care that all of these things are attracting quite a bit of attention. Take a look at your shadow.
I know, it looks fancy now. Isn't that not okay?
It looks like it's almost going to be torn to shreds here.
Oh, well then how do I fix it?
The shadows have power here?
Stop being sad.
Well, that really helps. Okay. You want to fucking give someone a hug, maybe, or ask, like, how you doing? You want to do anything of that first?
Is it? If you need to get something off your chest, you need to make it right quick. Otherwise, we're going to be having a problem if you're going to be carrying these burdens around with us. You're going to make it pretty
hug.
damn hard to go through.
I'll be like, we feel better.
A group hug.
Group hug.
What?
Group hug with everybody. That includes Borik.
Bring it in.
Bring it.
Bring it in.
Group hug.
Rather reluctantly, you see Borik start to kind of open up his arms and kind of muddle his way in. Gwen, you being right beside him, you feel his arm touch your shoulder, and you don't see anything, but you feel a calmness start to kind of run over yourself. That the sadness it's there, but it's a little bit muted. That the hug appears to have done its job. That you're like, you know what, Borik's pretty warm. He's pretty nice.
Hey, group hugs
Did
are
we
nice.
see that?
You can no from any of y'all's perspective, you do not see that.
Okay.
You just see a nice big old group hug. And as you start to pull away, Gwen, you look back down at your shadow and you see that the feathered, tattered edges of your shadow slowly start to form themselves back together to be one whole shadow. Nothing looks to be amiss anymore. You guys...
I got a hug.
Sweet. What does mine look like?
What does your shadow look like? Go ahead and take a look.
I was making a Dude, Where's My Car reference.
Nice tattoo.
Yeah, sweet. What does mine look like? Dude, what does mine look like? Sweet. Anywho, yeah, I got whatever I got. Whatever you said.
Everyone's looked totally fine. Gwen was the only one that had a messed up shadow from the low roll.
Cool.
As you guys are starting to make your way across, you guys notice that Tom, rather, you notice that when walking along this barren waste, you notice that you're slowly starting to come up closer and closer to that building that you had seen previous. Gwen, you notice that you're as well that silhouette you had seen that was previously that like gap in the trees, that hole. You're noticing that it's becoming a lot more structured, that everything here is kind of getting into something you guys haven't seen before, but something feels comfortable about this. Like, none of you can place at all in any of your memories a place that you've seen similar to this, but something feels familiar. That this is like a place of normalcy compared to everything else you see. Everything is still black, everything is still dark, everything is still shadows. However, when the closer you're coming up to this, you slowly start to see that the barren waste, the cracked grounds, are turning slowly and slowly into kind of one uniform plane. And as you're stepping through, you're hearing the crunch still going through your feet. But some of you, as you were starting to feel, you can feel that there's a little bit give to the ground, that it's starting to turn a little bit granular, almost like it's a sand.
Ooh.
As you're walking through, I believe it will be... I believe it was Nevira. Nevira, can you roll insight for me?
No.
An 8.
The sand, while it looks drastically different than anything you've seen before, you know that you've dreamt about this. It's not the white sand that you remember, but you're like, I've dreamt about this before.
This sand seems similar somehow. I don't know why, but it is.
As Boric is making his way across, you start to see him like lift his legs a little bit higher to kind of like work his way through the sand, and he kind of calls back. He goes, "If you've dreamt about the land of Shadowfell, I mean, seems like all of you have had a darkness plaguing your lives. I feel rather sorry for all of you. Wish you hope don't have to travel through here again." And he leaves it at that.
I'm sorry, I listened to 0 of that. Can you repeat what he said?
For Nevira, more specifically, after Nevira had that like tiny little monk, he gives a call back, and he's kind of, again, he's still looking forward, not like calling back to anyone in specifically, but after Nevira had spoken about like, this seems like familiar, like I've dreamt about this before, he gives a call and says, "You've dreamt about this place. It seems like many of you have had a lot of darkness following your lives, and if you dreamt about this, I'm sorry. I hope you never have to travel here again."
Well, I didn't dream about this place. I was pretty good.
He kind of just like waves off your comment, giving a very small backhand.
Why would
You what?
I had stool protecting me.
He gives a bit of a pause, stops in the sand, and you notice that his feet kind of sink just a little bit in the sand. He turns around and he goes, "The stool creature. You keep bringing it up. What are you talking about?"
Yeah, he's a loved one. I miss him a lot. He was like,
No,
Don't miss him right now.
Stop it.
he was.
Do you need a group hug too?
Group hug again.
Boy, just don't bring stool up. It's a touchy subject at the moment.
He needs a hug, Boric. He really does.
I don't know how many more hugs I can give, but we'll give this last one.
Yeah, do you want a
Okay.
group hug or do you want to get murdered? Group
Uh,
hug!
He gives
Group hug!
one hug. Gruk, you feel his arm kind of wrap around your waist, and you can feel his hand gently on your lower back, and you feel conflicting emotions.
Ooh.
You're almost calm being surrounded by this group of friends. However, this stranger to you, putting a hand on you, you want to feel calm, but something about it feels wrong to you. Eventually, your emotions give way, and that sense of wrongness, while it might stay with you, you do feel better about yourself. You do feel that you've got family around you.
Wasn't as good as Stool's calming.
Well. Fine.
Now listen
But
here,
thank you.
I
thank you
don't
for
have
that.
many more hugs like that to give. And quite frankly, even spending that much time around here, we need to be going. We're almost at a destination. This
Okay, let's
here,
go.
The building?
well, look at you, astute one. How long have you known about this?
The building that I said we should go to a while ago? That one? The building in front of us? The one that we're going to? That one?
This one right here. It looks the exact same to you, from as far as it did before as you're walking up here now.
There's a building?
It's not the exact same, but it's, you know.
Things around here,
I wanna
Ben,
show you.
shadows can change. Thankfully, we've all kept ourselves rather intact. We had a bit of an issue with one of us having a bit of a feathering. However, again, I'm not exactly sure I can kind of qualm those issues amongst you, should you feel any more remorse or sadness going in through here. Once we travel through this veil, I beg of you, do not touch those that reach out.
Okay.
You
What
see-
happens if we touch them?
You might die. I don't know.
You'll be coming back with more than what you walked in with.
Ooh, like more of a burden on yourself?
Like more
A
friends?
parasite.
Parasite.
With that, he leaves it, and he starts making his way up kind of through the sand. You see the sand slowly start to turn up, and from before, with what you had seen with your advantage, is that this kind of barren waste kind of went in and met into the tree line. However, coming up closer to it, you realize that the sand is slowly turning into a sand hill pointing upward. And at the top of this hill, you do see those tree lines you had seen before. And as you're coming up, you see through this kind of like thicket of trees, a shadowed stone building, like out of stone bricks. However, again, everything is slightly off. It's all devoid of color. So being inside of here, things are just off. As you're coming in, it's all a broken down ruin, essentially, of a stone wall that you can see in here. And you walk yourselves through an archway, and you are walking into the middle of what used to be, to all of you, what looks to be kind of like a stone castle of sorts. Nothing dramatic, nothing big, but maybe more of like a manor, just now torn down with time in the shadowed world, withered down. The blocks in here are all put together, like nothing's broken in half. It doesn't look like there's anyone like lived in here, but something's, again, strange. There's nothing that exists inside of here. It's just purely an empty room. There's no table, there's no bookshelves. It's just cold ground, cold stone, surrounded itself in this forest of shadowed trees.
Ruins.
I'm sorry, Nevira?
Just ruins. The ruins of what something was.
You trying to be as, insightful as your friend back there?
No. Let's keep moving.
Right then.
What is this place? I want to know.
This year, quite frankly, I'm not sure if it has many names. I just know it is the way that I need to go. Walking through here, there's different veils that can kind of take us out of here. If you would notice a little bit closer in here, the different doorways can lead you different places. Shadows amongst themselves kind of, exist in the corners where light sheds. Light itself doesn't have shadows, it casts them. As he's talking, he starts walking towards one of the walls. And in that wall, there's again another kind of archway leading you into another room. But as he's walking closer, you notice that there's like a shimmer in this archway, that something about it is like, it looks like a portal is what you guys can kind of glean from it, that weird shimmer. And as he kind of walks towards it, he stops and looks back and he goes, well, this is as far as we need to be going. when we step out of here, please do take caution, as when we arrive in through here, it might get a little hot.
Bring it on.
Why would it be hot?
Before he can respond to you, you see him kind of reach through, and as he's crossing this veil, essentially, this threshold, putting his arm through the veil, you see that he starts to turn into wisps. Like, whatever body part goes through starts turning into wisps. And as he steps through fully, he's now fully evaporated. Boric is no longer standing in front of you. He has now completely walked through this threshold, through this veil, and disapparated.
Me next.
All right, yeah, no time like the present.
I just go through.
You just go through?
I just go
Guys,
through.
No okay. All right.
No.
Okay, no worries. No, you walk through. As you start to walk through, Cirella, you talk to me how you're walking through. What part of your body is going to be reaching through this first?
are you a head first kind of person or a feet first kind of person?
Are you an arm first kind of person?
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of like a
Are you? I'm gonna walk ass backward through the door because I don't know.
party. No, just kidding. I think I would just be kind of like I don't know, walk kind of straight through it. Honestly, like just kind of like a little confident, like little walk right through.
Okay.
Maybe like one leg, one arm, kind of at the same time, and then the other one would go right after.
Okay. As you start to go through that, you're walking through your left hand, your fingertips hit it first, and you start to see that, like, though yourself, typically you are, describe to me your character again. You're red, correct? Or
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm getting that all right.
Okay. My character's okay, technically on my character sheet it says that I'm pale/tannish skin color with dark purple hair and silver eyes. If you go based off of my character that I have, that's right there. I'm red with silver hair and purple eyes, I think.
You tell me right here and right now what your arm is.
It's red. We're just gonna go with what my picture is.
Typical redness being in this realm. You look down and you realize that you've not looked at yourself this entire time being inside of here. You've only taken a look at this environment. And as you look down and you look at your hand, you see that there is no color to yourself. That everything is blank. It's monochrome. Same as everything else in this world that has all of its light devoid of itself. It is just the shadows. But as you reach through, you see that the evaporation turns back into those reddish colors that you had on your skin. And as you start to push more of yourself through, you start to feel yourself lose all of your limb. That you're like, I can't feel my fingers anymore. I can't feel my arm anymore. It's wisps. It's gone. And at that, you start to make your way through the rest of the door. And can you give me a Constitution saving throw?
Oh no. Let's see.
I'm looking for
Don't
a
let me down,
12.
rubber ducky.
Looking for a 12. Not that high.
That was a net 1.
Ooh.
Oh,
I just crit
no.
failed.
Okay.
Good thing you have fire resistance, right?
No worries, no worries. Cirella got a 12. Or got a 1, sorry.
I got a 1.
Alright. Cirella, I'm not going to narrate for you anymore right there. Jumping back to the rest of your friends, you see Cirella walk through and, similarly like Boric, turn herself into those wisps. No longer, physical, no longer anything you can see, nothing you can see or touch is turned ethereal. They're gone.
Now roll a new character.
No.
Wait, what? Why did he say it was hot? Why would the shadows be hot?
Shadows aren't hot. What we're going to be is hot. I'm assuming
Why-
it's some places got lava.
Yeah, like the throne room?
Yeah, probably. Isn't that who we're here to assassinate a guy, right?
Yeah. I'm just worried he's going to send us right in front of the king and not behind the king.
I mean, he very well could have us walk through this door and then just be like, oh, wow, totally, look at that. Look at these escaped prisoners. I brought them right to you. I'm a Grey Dwarf just like you. And then vanishes and then fucking stabs the dude when we're not paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
But what are we supposed to do about it? Pick a different veil to go through? I'm fine with that.
As you take a
Yes.
look around, there doesn't appear to be any veils that you can see with your own eye.
And we can't leave her behind.
Well, you can do what you want.
Can't we though?
Can I just can't like one of us just like dip our head into the place just to like see what's on the other side and then like come back out and be like, hey, there's this on the other side.
You can try that,
Probably.
Gruk, but
Seems kind of all or nothing.
Gruk, give me your hand. I'm gonna grab your hand, and then if you, not that I can pull very hard, but if you start thrashing and flailing, I'll pull you back through.
What if he loses that
Shouldn't this
hand?
be the other way around?
Yeah, but you had the idea, so I went up to your idea.
can I just push Tom in?
Nope, don't push me
Alright.
through.
Hey Tom, it's 2 against 1. You're getting pushed in.
Y'all tell me
I'm not
what you
gonna let
want
you
to
push
do.
me through.
I'm hearing some conversations about stuff. I'm hearing some I want to push people because it's like I don't make you do anything until you tell me this is what I want to do.
I'm pushing Tom in.
Okay, contested strength rolls, both of you.
And I'm assisting.
You're assisting
so-
what?
Okay, can I help to not have him
with
get pushed through the
Nevira
veil? We
pushing
don't know
Tom in.
what's gonna happen.
Okay.
With Nevira pushing Tom in.
Okay, Nevira wants to push Tom. They're going to be rolling contested strength rolls. Gruk, you're saying you're wanting to help Nevira?
Yes.
Okay. Nevira, you can roll with advantage.
But Gwen is
Gwen
wanting to help
Yeah.
Is wanting to help who?
Tom.
Tom.
Tom not get
Okay.
pushed in.
That means that Tom would have advantage to not be pushed. Those both are going to cancel each other out. You're going to roll as
Before-
normal.
Before any of this happens, I cast Thunderwave at level 1.
Okay. Okay.
Tom.
So in order to resolve ties, so Nevira's going to have her action first of I want to push.
It's a surprise on.
So that's
Well,
going
you
to...
told me you're gonna push me in.
No, I didn't say, oh, I'm going to push you and push you in. I just pushed you in.
Don't worry. Everything's gonna play fair. I just want to make sure I'm getting the series of events happening correctly. So, Nevira is going to roll for strength. Tom, you're also going to roll strength. I need to see what happens here to determine what happens next with that. Nevira, what'd you roll?
And
10?
I rolled a 13.
13. Okay. Difference of 3. So, Tom, you see Gruk and Nevira essentially surround you and get ready to push
oh
you.
wait, dude. Oh, never mind.
What's up?
Nope.
Okay.
Good. You're good.
You see Gruk and Nevira essentially surround you, ready to push. Gwen is realizing that there is trouble afoot and immediately thinks to herself, oh no, my friend. She goes to try and help by pushing back or pulling against, trying to get you out of the way from there. So you see this interaction happen. With that roll, you don't get pushed. You stumble a little bit, but you stumble away from the veil as Nevira goes like this and essentially falls forward almost a little bit. Not enough to fall into the veil, but you see that you had 2 of your friends have this action towards you. And you see one of your friends have an action helping you. You can choose what to do.
I'm still casting Thunderwave at level 1.
Casting Thunderwave level 1. Okay, tell me what Thunderwave does.
Wave of force sweeps out from you. Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away from you.
Is this
On a
considered an
successful
attack?
save, the creature takes half as much damage and isn't pushed.
Is this considered an attack? Yes. While
Alright.
damage will be done.
Ugh. You're not doing an attack roll though, so I don't think I can do anything.
No, it's an attack roll.
It's well,
Attack roll?
no, it's not because it's
yeah.
just they have to beat a con 13 check.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I
Or
can
save.
do any kind of reaction to help.
Okay. So you cast this. So Gruk. So with how this is actually how this is all oriented, there's going to be the threshold, which I'm going to say is to your guys' south. In this scenario, to your south is that threshold. Nevira, you had pushed yourself past Tom essentially because he had kind of, well, not fallen over. So you are now in between the threshold and Tom. Gruk, you are on the same level as Nevira. Gwen, you are to the right of Tom. So in terms of southmost is the Vale, then it's going to be Nevira. Gruk is slightly to the left, so not directly in the way, but right next to. Then it is Tom standing essentially between, or standing at the end of all that, and Gwen standing to the left of Tom. So right now, the only one that is in the way of the threshold and Tom is Gwen. Or sorry, is Nevira. Sorry. Names mixed up. So, Tom, Thunderwave, they have to make a Constitution what save?
13.
Nevira, go ahead and roll.
Save throw, 13.
And it's a cone in front of you? It's a square in front of you?
No, it's just a radius. It's a 15-foot cube around me. So it hits everybody.
All of you roll then. Got it.
I'm inspired, so I can roll twice, correct?
Inspired rolls with advantage, yeah. Or no.
Okay.
No, what's advantage? What's the fuck is that again? It's like you get a bonus or something?
Inspiration.
Yeah, whenever you make a
Gives you
saving
advantage.
throw ability check, gives you advantage on that roll. Yeah.
Is my DM inspiration on this?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if
then
you've got
I'll
inspiration
save
on
it.
your character sheet, you've got an advantage on this roll if you want to use it as that.
I'll save it.
So
I think
it's-
something else is gonna happen later.
Constitution save.
17.
I got an 8.
Gruk?
Sorry. It's a 13, but plus whatever, it doesn't really matter.
The only one
does
that
it?
actually got pushed was my friend.
Neat. Thanks, Tom.
So, is it in any it's a direction emanating from you?
Yeah, it's from me and it's directly away from me.
Okay, so Gwen, you just get blasted back by just.
She gets pushed 10 feet. Yeah.
Okay. Tom, go ahead and narrate, and then for those that got hit by it, it was 1d8 of force damage.
Yeah.
So for Nevira
Gwen takes
and
2d8 and Nevira and Gruk take 1d8.
there you go. So Tom, go ahead and narrate what you just did.
I mean, I'd cast it and do whatever hand thing and just like,
So we just roll our damage.
yeah.
Yep.
I could also roll it if I'm supposed to, but
No, whoever's. Well, yeah, no, Tom. Yeah, you would roll it. It could be just like, yeah, and you take that much damage.
okay. So I rolled a 5 on a 2d8, so that means that Gwen would take 5, the other would take whatever 2.5 turns out to be.
Well, 2 rounded down.
I already did too, because that's what I rolled, so.
There you go. All right, so
So
Gwen, you
2
get blasted off your feet backwards away from Tom after kind of helping him stand from there, and you just see Tom, both hands together, just. Are you shaking, or like what's your emotion, Tom?
Oh, I don't know. Like, no, it's more so just like clap.
That's it.
I mean, pretty much as to actually cast the spell. Yeah.
Okay.
Nevira,
Gruk, your guys' response to getting thunder blasted, just kind of having the of like everything kind of like blasted by you.
is there any like? I know that Nevira is clearly like stumbled. I don't know if Gruk is close enough to like grab me or anything, but like if it's possible during the confusion, I want to like take a quick jot directly away from where Gruk is.
Away from where Gruk is at.
Yeah, just
Y'all,
like
y'all
away
are
from
within
him, so I'm
like the
not in line with the
same
portal.
in the same like 4 square tile is where you all were. So you're all within
Right.
5 feet of each other. Gwen has now blasted her ass that way about 10 feet, so now she's now 15 feet away from you, while
Yeah.
Nevira and Gruk are still within grabbing range of you, grappling range.
Yeah, I figured Nevira was like stumbling, was already past me a little bit, and then I don't know what Gruk's doing. But what I'm saying is, if I had the opportunity to, I would probably move laterally away from the portal so that I'm now no
Yeah,
longer.
yeah,
like,
no, you
directly
absolutely
in
can.
the face of it.
Yep,
Okay,
go
yeah,
ahead.
then I want to do that
Okay.
to however far I can run.
So to however you can run 25 feet.
Okay, then
So you can
I'm gonna go
essentially
50
run
feet.
back out
Maybe you
of the way
should go
that
to
you guys
Gwen, considering she got blasted and she tried
That's
to help
probably
you.
a good idea. Let's go to Gwen.
Okay, she go ahead and
Oh.
I'd run over to Gwen and be like, "Oh fuck, sorry, Gwen.
Oh,
Something's meant for
okay.
you."
Such a fucking mess. I'm gonna go through the veil. I'm done with this shit.
okay. How do you walk?
Foot first.
Dummy.
Foot first.
Foot first.
All right, you walk through foot first, and you see that the boot of Ilsa's boots start to evaporate. They turn back into their kind of like leather brown after being in here. Because again, you've not looked at yourself either. You notice that you have no color amongst yourselves. You were just a monochrome.
I'm pink.
Things are a little bit pink. You are correct. Never mind. Thank you for correcting me. Things are a little bit pink, but you notice that things are turning back, kind of like the normal colors coming out from here as you cross this veil. And as you start to come through, you start to feel that you don't feel your foot. You don't feel your leg as you slowly cross through. And as your face hits, it feels like a wet puddle. Like as you go, as you go through. Make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Nat 1. Nat 1.
I can't net one.
Yes, you can.
Good.
Yes, you can. If you fuck it up twice.
13.
13. Okay. Nothing else for you. For those that are still in the Shadowfall, Gruk, you just seen your friend just leave, and you see Tom tending over to Gruk. Or Tom tending over to Gwen. Fuck me.
I mainly just want to like talk to Gwen and be like help her to her feet and be like, oh shit, I'm sorry. That wasn't that wasn't meant for you.
Roleplay. I don't do that.
Yeah.
Roleplay.
Sorry, Gwen.
Bro, that hurt.
I know. I'm sorry. That wasn't.
Well, that wasn't very nice.
Yeah. Thank you for trying to help me.
I mean,
Not
yeah,
just
I
get
don't
thrown
want...
through the portal.
How
Well,
people
Gwen,
get
you know what to do
worse.
next time Tom is in danger. Run
You
the
know
fuck
what?
away.
Fine. Here, Gwen. Here. Have a little bit of healing. Heal yourself for 7 damage.
Oh my god, keep your spells. We might be going into a big
No,
fight.
no,
Jesus
we don't need
Christ.
it. We don't need it. It's fine. Here
I'm
you
just
go.
gonna use my level 1 spell on 2 people.
Yeah, it's fine. We got a lot of them. It's okay.
Oh my god. What you
Here you
say?
go. Do you feel better?
All right,
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
Gwen's gonna be like, oh no, and she's gonna just go to the veil. I'm not doing this anymore.
All right, I'm walking over to Tom and Gwen. I'm picking them up, and I'm going through the veil.
I was gonna walk on my own feet.
If you're doing that, you're going to have to make a contested strength for carrying both of them, assumably against their will.
So seeing that he's walking over here, presumably somewhat menacingly, I'm just gonna go ahead and like back off and see if I can't just loop around him and go through the veil anyway.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Go roleplay.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
You do that. I'll help Gwen up. if
No,
she's
Gwen's
not-
already on her feet. I already got her up, bro. I already fixed her boo-boos. She is okay. Like, don't touch me. I'm gonna go through this veil.
Okay. Tom, you're going through the veil right now. How do you walk?
I'm
Foot
gonna
first, dummy.
tentatively stick a little arm out and then like kind of ease my way through. And if it feels like my entire hand's on fire, I might pull it back and readjust. But let's and unless something major happens, let's commit by cautiously kind of hand first.
Okay. As you go through and you reach your arm through, you see similarly how all of your friends have disappeared and evaporated essentially before your eyes, crossing through this veil. You feel that same kind of thing go through, and as you're going in, you see the fingertips slowly start to disappear, your hand disappear, your arm disappear, same as you'd seen all your other friends as you cross through, and you feel no sense of danger. You don't feel anything, rather. There's no heat that Boric had been talking about, but I mean, at the same token, you don't feel cold.
Okay.
You continue pushing through.
I felt water. He felt heat. Tom feels nothing.
Yeah, I guess I keep going.
Okay. You continue to push yourself all the way through as you kind of like feel yourself no longer be tangible as you cross through this veil. Gruk and Gwen, you are now left alone in the Shadowfall. You'd seen all your friends go through. You've seen Bork go through. You've not...
The two people that needed the calming thing are left alone in the shadow realm.
What were any of those words?
You didn't understand her?
No.
The two people that needed calming are the ones that are left in the Shadow Realm.
Ah, shit. Oh, well, you're right.
I'll just keep dancing. You'd seen your friends leave you. They're gone. There's no sound. You don't exactly see them coming back. You've seen them all walk through. How does it make you feel?
I just got fucking blasted for trying to help my friends, so I don't feel great.
You got blasted by trying to help your friend.
And I picked you back up and then healed you. You're fine.
It's okay, Gwen. I'm here to help you. I will never hurt you.
Thanks, bro.
Head pats.
Oh, don't head pat me. I'm older than you. Don't head pat me.
Yes, but I'm taller.
As you guys are having this conversation, the sky starts to get a little bit more dark, a little bit more dim. There seems to be something stretching across the sky as you guys are staying here longer and having your conversation.
All right, looks like something bad's about to get over here. Can I do, because I'm morbidly curious, can I do any kind of history check of what this manor was? The ruins we're
Sure.
standing
You
in
can
now?
do a history check. Sure. Absolutely. Go ahead.
Oh, 22.
Cool. You know nothing.
Sick. Going to the mail. I'm done. Cool.
Nothing comes through your mind of dwarven places. Everything feels it's like you should know something about this, but everything is just slightly off. Whether or not it's that there's no color here, that there's no emotions here, that there's no anything here. Again, everything felt stale. It felt dead air. It was all just void. Otherwise, no, nothing comes to your mind about what this place may have been or could have been or anything like that. But you said you're walking through the veil now?
Yeah.
How do
out
you
of the
walk?
veil. Grumpy.
Grumpy?
Yes.
The
Okay.
grumpiest little dwarf.
I need a extremity that you walk through with first.
What
Or
is
your
this
head.
grumpy? It's just
A fist.
No, I don't think it would be this. I think it'd be like angry, like I'm going through the fucking veil and I'm so tired of all their bullshit.
Narrate,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know, just her mumbling under her breath like, God damn it, I tried to help, now they're blasting me, someone's trying to pat me on the head. That is a baby. This is ridiculous. Going through the veil.
There you go. As you walk through, and you're clouded by these emotions, you're like letting the anger get to you. And as you're letting that happen, as you start to cross through, like all of you crosses through almost like at once. You don't even get the feeling of being able to see that like tangibleness go away. You just walk through, and as you walk through, it is like suffocating when you walk through this. You see like yourself slowly start to like fade off into this kind of wispiness, but like it is like a suffocating, like something's choking you as you're walking through this. And it's like choking you, not in the sense of like something's around your throat, like something is inside of your throat. And you disappear. Gruk. You've now seen your friend walk away angrily after trying to offer this some head pats. And you see that the sky doesn't appear to be getting any brighter, more darker, as everything starts to surround you. There's no noise. I'm sorry. There's no noise. There's no ambiance. It's cold. Something you didn't feel before. It's cold. Everything here was stale before, but now there's like a shiver coming through you.
Frank, I'm gonna miss you. Or Jerry, or whatever the hell your name was. I'm gonna jump through.
Okay, you're gonna jump through.
Yeah, fucking.
Arms first, feet first, head first. Getting a live action roleplay of a jump that's about to happen. All right, Superman.
Oh.
Superman's in on through. Gruk, as you start that like running jump to it, you're getting that run, and you're feeling that heaviness to you, like something's like heavy on your heart from here. But you're like, no, I said my goodbyes. I said goodbye to Frank or Jerry or whatever his name was. I have no reason to be upset.
Pretty sure his name was Jerry.
It wasn't.
Okay.
But something weighs heavy on your heart as you jump through. And as you jump through, arms first, hands first, Superman style, you go through, you see it's very quickly to evaporate as you kind of like go through it, and there's no chance for you to kind of like gain any introspection on what's happening. There's no chance for you to get a feeling of what's happening. You just fade as you go through. You don't feel that cold as you walk through there anymore. You don't feel anything again. You kind of just start to fade away. So all of you at this point have rolled and gone through. I'm sorry, not rolled. I need all of those that have not rolled. So I need Tom to do his roll. I need Gwen to do her roll. And I need Gruk to do his roll.
I got a nat 20 on the Constitution saving throw.
All right.
I also got a nat 20.
Hey, high five for people that aren't trying to throw people
Good
through portals.
job. Good job,
Oh my
guys.
god, Junkie Cumberchad shows up.
I hope
to get
Nevira gets a nat
20.
1 twice.
I got 13 already, so shut the fuck up.
Gruk, what'd you roll for your Constitution save?
This is a Constitution save.
Constitution
Mhm.
save.
I can't help you right now, Kat. What
What'd you get?
That one.
knows?
What'd you get?
What'd you get?
It's
Can you read?
Drum roll, please.
Did you lose that ability?
no, it's 8.
It's an 8.
An 8?
That's
Not-
fine.
Not the worst.
Yeah.
Better than a 1. Like someone got.
I don't know what you're talking about. I rolled perfectly. Maybe the ones that rolled a 20 were the ones that rolled bad.
You're right. Maybe I flipped the script. Maybe I did a
You
whole
never know.
lowers better golf score.